Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So in today's video, I just would like to share with each and every one of you this concept, this idea that I've been pondering on, just to see if anybody else relates or even knows at all what I'm talking about. So today I'm going to share with you all the concept of if we weren't family, we would not be friends, and what that means to me. And please let me know in the comments if this is something that you have thought about as well. So this is not a malicious video to bash any of my family friends. These are simply my astute observations that I would like to share with you guys um, about relationships, chosen relationships, also blood family relationships, even family friend relationships, and what that looks like as you grow up and can choose your friends and choose your mentors and different people you would like to have around you for a longer time. I think this concept really came to mind, especially after I went and graduated college, and I built some really strong friendships to this day. People who I can see at my wedding, people who I call to pray with, people who I can be vulnerable with. And a lot of those people weren't there years prior. They weren't there when I was growing up. They weren't necessarily childhood friends, but I feel like some of that friendship that I have with them now is stronger than some of my childhood friendships. It's stronger than some of my family bonds. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Honestly, if I'm honestly speaking, that's probably because when I got to college is such a melting pot of ideas, and everybody's working together. They're working on their own thing. They're building study groups and coming together and sharing their collaborative thoughts, that you have more of a concept or grasp on reality, that your conversations will naturally be deeper than in childhood, in your infancia, when you are just still growing. Yeah, that just comes with time. So to start off this video, I want to go over a few very light and loose definitions that I came up with in terms of blood family. So family, of course, includes those people who you have oh my lord, you are biologically related to. Yes, the people who are in your immediate family, who you grew up with. And I also would like to include family friends and honestly childhood friends, because you didn't necessarily choose them. When it comes to family friends, they may be friends with your grandparents or friends with your parents, and therefore they became part of your family, and you may see them all the time at family functions, at birthday parties, at Christmas, on holidays. You didn't necessarily choose them in your life. They may have been chosen family of other relatives, but now they're family friends and not somebody that you necessarily chose. So it's like a little family tree. So your mom's best friend or really close friends are her chosen family, but as the child, that's not necessarily your chosen family, somebody that you chose, but they are a family friend now, making them your family. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Besides family friends, childhood friends are included because a lot of childhood friendships are out of proximity, not necessarily out of commonality. That's something I had to realize, y'all. I have been living, I have been learning a lot about quality versus quantity, and just what it means to be a good friend and have good friends. So to conclude, blood family, people you are actually related to, but also childhood friends, and also family friends. Okay, and now let's get into chosen family. These are people that as you grow up, you want to um, continue to have these long lasting relationships, and the relationships get deeper. These are people who you can count on, people who hold you accountable. These are people who will, again, most likely be at your wedding. These people are people that you can call in the middle of the night who are not necessarily family. You grew up and you got to know them on a different level. They probably were not there when you were growing up. You probably found them in late adolescence to like early adulthood and even well into adulthood. I know some people in my chosen family, they may not be around my age, like my church grandma. My church grandma, like I consistently would like her around me. She pours so much knowledge and wisdom into me. Our conversations really helped me process a lot of things, and also that could include some mentors. Some of my professors in college who I still have their phone numbers to this day, these are people who I would like to keep in contact with, who I feel a sense of camaraderie with, a sense of community with these people. So now that we have quickly went over those definitions, now it's time to jump into the original topic of the video, which is if we weren't family, we for sure wouldn't be friends. And this just goes back to some family members in that family definition I gave. We may not have similar priorities. We may not even have anything in common besides our blood. Like, that's it. We don't like the same things. We don't think the same way about the world. We don't view the world the same way. We're not passionate about the same projects. Our hobbies are different. And these are things that are normal. All families are dysfunctional in some way, shape, or form. But let's get into personality as well. There can be some personality clashes. So again, I'm not here to maliciously slander anybody. So I'm not here to gossip. I'm not here to talk about people. I'm here to talk about principles. So I'm going to give some examples. Okay, so the example is, say for example, you have a family member or a family friend who may be older. Because some of these issues may be just generational. I don't think so. A lot of these issues that I'm seeing are more so personality clashes, but don't disregard that some things that you may be experiencing may be generational. But let's say somebody is like 50 years old and they weren't 50. Let's bring them back down to my age of 22. If we went to the same school, were in the same arenas, we would not speak. Like, I would have nothing to speak to you about because our priorities are different. We don't value the same things. I probably wouldn't have even met you because we're so different. And that's a double-edged sword, because on one side, I'm like, okay, God must have placed you in my life for a reason. Was it to teach me a lesson on patience? Was it? Like, what was the lesson of why you're here in my life today? But I do appreciate him for putting so many people in my life that weren't a part of my chosen family just in my life to be so different from me. I do see his creativity in how he made each and everybody different, and their strengths and their weaknesses, and that honestly is just amazing. I sit in awe of that all the time. But there are other people that in my family that I'm just like, yeah, you're like, I'm glad that he brought these different people into my life with different thought processes, because sometimes they can teach you something new. Like, somebody brought an idea to me the other day, and it was neither good nor bad. It was more so neutral. It was just something I have never ever in my life even thought about, but they thought about it, and that's because of who they are as a person. So I appreciate things like that, people bringing new perspectives into my life, because sometimes, again, with patience, you can be more compassionate oftentimes with family members than chosen family. And that reminds me that how people give your family more and more chances because of this proximity, because I'm going to see you at Christmas, because I'm going to see you at Thanksgiving, that okay, we need to come together. But you also don't want to put up a fake united front. And this reminds me of Family Feud. So when families go on Family Feud, y'all know they sitting up there They talking to Steve Harvey about whatever. But there's always that one family member who answers the question, and it is the most ignorant thing on planet Earth. I'm looking at them like, I can't believe you said that. Why would you say that? But in good old family fashion, everybody's clapping. Good answer, good answer, good answer. Because you want to create this united front and not make anybody feel bad in the family. But I feel like a lot of things in families get swept under the rug because of this good answer mentality. Because of, oh, don't call that out, that could cause a rift. But the thing itself is causing the rift. It's not calling it out that's going to make it any different. Not calling it out will produce nothing. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So I feel like more families need to do better with calling out certain issues with an intent to change the situation, and not just create this false narrative that everybody's all jolly popping together and we're all one big happy family, when that may not be the case. And on the flip side with that, I have realized that I may not be as patient with chosen family because I have to be so patient with my actual family. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but since I'm so compassionate with people who are going to be with my life forever, since I was born, probably until the day I died, and give them chance after chance, with chosen family, since I can choose you, it's not that many chances. 70 times 7 question mark. But no, I'm serious, y'all. Because I view them like I'm watching Family Feud. So with my family, I'm like, okay, good answer, good answer. I'm gonna give you grace because I know how you grew up. I'm gonna give you grace because I've been around you my entire life and you've been around me. So I know some things behind the actions that you do. I'm not just seeing the action itself. But whereas with chosen family, it's more so I'm the viewer watching Family Feud. I'm like, now why he do that? Now why he say that? Why did she say that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I'm more honest and more real with my chosen family because I want them in my life, and I'm a person of accountability. I really want to hold other people accountable, and I want them to do the same for me. Okay, so let me know in the comments, who do you tend to have more patience with? Chosen family or actual family? Honestly, looking back at my answer, it just depends. Everything is situational, to be honest. But as I am a believer, I do believe in forgiving people. So as we close out today, I would like to take a second just to talk to those people who maybe think that they don't relate or don't feel connected to anything that I said, or maybe those people who come from a non-traditional family background. Maybe you were adopted, maybe you were in foster care. Lastly, I want to talk to those people who maybe went no contact with their family. Yeah, you don't have to tell us anything that you're not comfortable with, but in the comments, could you just tell us maybe your definition of family, of blood family, and but also chosen family, and what that looks like for you? Also, before we end, I would like to say that everything I said today was a simple observation. There are people in my family who I'm definitely close to, who I definitely feel connections with. And on the same scale, there are some people who I do not. And that's just life. I'm sure each and every one of you guys can attest to that. Now, I would like to talk to my family members who have been watching my chosen family, my childhood friends, my family friends. If you're on the call today, don't get nothing twisted. I love each and every one of you guys. I truly do. I appreciate you guys being in my life, and I hope we can continue growing our relationship together. And hopefully, some of the relationships that are weaker now will get stronger. And yeah, we will continue to grow together. I know that God placed each and every one of you in my life for a reason. Some of y'all, I know that reason. Other people, I don't know the reason yet. And honestly, I may never know, because some of this, it may not be for me to know. But His ways are higher than my ways, and I trust that. So I hope nobody took any of this to heart. And if you did, I'll see you at Thanksgiving. Bye.